Greetings everyone, this is Bernard and I'm back yet for another VC contest participation. This time it's in honor of Tim aka DJ Highnoon, who celebrates 300 subs and 1 year in the vinyl community. Tim, as I'm filming this, you're close to 350, so congratulations on those 2 milestones. You deserve all of this, and I'm happy to take part in your contest today. And to all of you who clicked on my video today, well, thank you so much. Okay, so Tim asked 2 questions. First, he wants us to choose a theme and show 5 albums around that theme. And second, he would like us to share 3 pieces of lyrics that we have always liked, whatever the reason. Well, once upon a time, back in 1974, a guy named André Perry put in place a recording studio that he simply called Le Studio. This innovative studio was erected in the beautiful town of Morin Heights in the province of Quebec, Canada, where it can get freaking cold during winter. It was situated within an hour from the area of Montreal where I've lived all my life. You may ask, what was so special about that place other than the fact that it was geographically close to me? Well, for starters, it was right in the middle of a forest, by a lake. Mr. Perry's idea was to create an environmental recording studio. Artists and bands would literally move there for a period of time to create and record their stuff. Back then, Le Studio was the only studio of its kind. It had beautiful large windows with a view of the woods and the lake and the foothills of the Laurentians Mountains. There was lots of natural light, and it offered a retreat in the wilderness for artists, which really fostered their creativity. Plus, the recording console was state-of-the-art. At first you had a very good Trident console, and then around 1980, Le Studio was equipped with a revolutionary console by Solid State Logic. At the time, it was only the second one of its kind in the world, the other being at Abbey Road Studios in England. Tim, are you still listening? Great. Oh, come on, Robert. Stop wrapping those CD box sets and pay a little bit of attention here. Sorry, guys. All this prelude serves to introduce my theme for this contest. What I'm about to show you are all great albums that were recorded at Le Studio. I own several of them, but I picked 5, plus a bonus that I will show you at the end if you don't mind. First, April Wine. Harder, Faster, 1979. April Wine was a prolific and successful Canadian band from Halifax, Nova Scotia. You might know the songs I Like to Rock and Say Hello, or their rendition of 21st Century Schizoid Man. They are among my favorites and I highly recommend them. Fun fact, they took the title right off an X-rated movie. My second pick for albums recorded at Le Studio represents some of the higher profile musicians who rented the place. This is Tonight by David Bowie, released in 1984. It's surely not the most well-known Bowie album, but it's worth revisiting, which I did in preparation of this video. The 3 singles off of it are Tonight, Blue Jean, and Loving the Alien. And you have a few cool covers on it too, notably songs by Iggy Pop and God Only Knows by the Beach Boys. Next up, we have the once amazing Bryan Adams, You Want It, You Got It, 1981. It was recorded live at the studio Morin Heights over a 2-week period, and it defined the cool sound that would make Bryan so popular over the next several years. Next, I'll go with Asia, Alpha, 1983. A fantastic AOR record full of splendid anthems. I love it. And my fifth pick is Corey Hart, Fields of Fire, 1986. I'm such a big fan of the first track, I Am By Your Side. It's such a powerful song. Corey Hart's prior album, Boy in the Box, which I also have, was also recorded at the studio. I chose this one because of I Am By Your Side, and also to show you pictures of the band. It's not written, but I would bet that those pictures were taken in the beautiful area surrounding the studio. Rainbow, the Jeff Healey Band, Cat Stevens, the Bee Gees, Chicago Nazareth, the Police, Sting, Keith Richards, and Bare Naked Ladies are other big artists who recorded at the studio. But the band that really is associated with the studio and who made it legendary is Rush. In fact, the famous Canadian trio recorded several albums in that place. Neil Peart, Rush's drummer and lyricist, once said about it that it was his ultimate landscape, dreamscape, and soulscape. So all the following albums were recorded at the studio Morin Heights. And I just can't never get enough of Rush. So please accept these as the bonus I was talking about earlier. Permanent Waves, 1979. The Classic Moving Pictures, 1981. Signals, 1982. Grace Under Pressure, 1984. Presto, 1989. Roll the Bones, 1991. And a personal favorite, Counterparts, 1993. You can add to that the Exit Stage Live album from 1981 that was recorded at least in parts by mobile equipment owned by the studio and that was mixed there. So, needless to say that the studio Morin Heights is really significant for Rush fans. Unfortunately, over the years there were less and less activities at the studio and it eventually ceased all operations. If you would like to know more about the studio, I will leave links below to a very well done 2-part documentary. Now, let's tackle the second part of the contest, which has to do with lyrics. There's a line in the song Brothers in Arms that always gets me. It literally gives me goosebumps every time. It goes, and we have just one world, but we live in different ones. That sentence is very powerful in itself. But what really makes it overwhelming to me is that 2-3 seconds later, you have a very short but very poignant guitar effect. I don't know how to describe it technically, but I'm sure those of you who know the song know what I'm talking about. At this moment, I just melt every time. For my second pick, I went with lyrics that I very often have in my head. And when the song plays, I can't help but sing along. I just can't keep my mouth shut when it plays. It's again on Permanent Waves, the song Spirit of Radio by Rush. It's the beginning of the Permanent Waves album, and to me these are just fantastic words to start things off. And for my last pick, I went with something completely different. I chose a line that for some reason I always thought sounds good, plain and simple. When I was very young, I was intrigued by that line just because of the way it sounded. I had no idea of what words were actually pronounced. And as you may know, my mother tongue is French, so my knowledge of the English language only came later. And the funny thing is that I remember that part of the magic was gone for me the day that I finally realized what the words were. It's in the chorus of Media Overkill by Scorpions from the Savage Amusement album 1988. It goes, "Satellites transmit the latest thrill." Sorry for my accent.
Satellites transmit the latest thrill. We can't escape the media overkill. Satellites transmit the latest thrill. We can't escape the media overkill.
I've always liked that line, simply for the fact that I think it sounds so cool. Satellites transmit the latest thrill. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed my humble contribution to DJ Highnoon's contest. I sincerely thank you all for my support. Tim, again, congratulations. I thought that your contest ideas were very inspiring. Please like and comment. I like to read what you guys have to say. And please go visit DJ Highnoon often. He has a great channel. He's a big fan of Hendrix and he likes a ton of other musicians as well. Take care, everyone. Many thanks for being there for me, and please rock on.